All still getting there. I can see 1, 2. The G trying to put her around well. She's putting down better. Think about this.
G'day punters, welcome back to the MacBet post-operation show where we look through the Brisbane Metro meeting on a Saturday and we review a couple of the replays. As always, the boys are joining me. I got Tommy Henjak there and Johnny Mcleod, you're on the floor. We didn't have the worst week, but all the furniture's gone and you're on the deck. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to be a Playboy model here. No, I've moved joint, and just what a nightmare of a job that is. It is an absolute. Couldn't wish it on the worst mate. So anyway, here we go.
There you go. Yeah, well, we're filming in the morning, so yeah, it looks like we're doing a bit of yoga on the ground, but hopefully you can sort of settle in there and get the punting setup going again. But yeah, we'll be talking through the sunny coast, like I said before, and we had a decent enough week on the results front. We've sort of flat again. We've ended up just winning the 1.9 units profit. And then, yeah, yards going really well for the year as well, winning at about 23%. We've sort of been chipping away, guys. What did you think about last week results-wise? I think there's probably a couple of unlucky finishes, but I guess we're happy to be in the green.
Yeah, I think last week it was, yeah, as you said, there was a few close calls. Kind of just chipping away at the moment. As you said, the last couple of weeks is kind of the good horses have gone away and we're dealing with a kind of lesser grade. So it is a tricky time. Got to tread carefully because they don't necessarily put two good runs in a row.
Yeah, that's true, Tom. You know, I'm sort of quite happy with how things are going because we're in the race. You know, especially the last one at Ipswich on, when was it, on Sunday? You know, I think, you know, there's nothing wrong with Kyle's ride on it, but I just think that the horse probably didn't handle Ipswich too well. And if it was a bigger track, he would have been able to get away with it. We finished up really getting good odds when we played again on the yard. I think, you know, he would have won if it was a bigger track. It's just tight turning track. He just didn't handle it as well.
All right. And yeah, we'll get into the replays from the Sunshine Coast shortly. But first, we're going to see what caught Tom's eye around the grounds in Queensland last week. All right, Tommy, I'll let you talk us through this one, mate. But looks like the jockeys are having a bit of a charity match down at Shore Road, a bit of a T20 game. You've sort of picked something out here from the Brisbane Racing Club video that got posted.
Yeah, so I think there's a jockeys cricket match on 7th of March. So they've been doing a little practice lately. And yeah, I think I was scrolling through the video. Like to always know what's going on. And Jaden Lloyd dropped an absolute sitter here. It's an absolute embarrassment to cricket, in my opinion. And even his mum commented that he used to be in a rep team, which is absolutely unbelievable after this performance.
He looks dirty. He looks dirty on himself too. He knew the camera was on him. That's an absolute shocker.
Yeah, the rolling around after is a bit dramatic as well. But in all seriousness, he had a good week, Jaden. Actually, I think he rode 3 winners there at the Sunshine Coast. Traduce, Explosive Quality, and Dream Reacher. So he's definitely an apprentice to follow at the moment here in Brisbane.
Follow him when he's riding, maybe not when he's playing in the cricket match. I don't know if we'd be able to bet on this, but it might be a bit of a lay there for the.
I think it's a city versus country match, but I'd love to see in the future them to organise a punters versus jockeys match of some sort. Maybe like a footy match or something. That'd be good.
A footy match.
He used to do a bookies one. It was bookies against the jockeys and trainers or something like that years ago.
In what in rugby or?
No, I think it was cricket. They kept it at cricket. But yeah, I'm sure that was the case. It was a long time ago.
It's at March 7 down at Shore Road. That's just around the corner for me. So if I'm doing absolutely nothing, I'll go put my head down and have a look. But yeah, there you go. That's what caught Tom's eye this week around the cricket grounds in Queensland. All right, we're going to get into the replays from the Sunshine Coast meeting on Saturday. Like I said earlier, we lost 1.6 units actually for the meeting. We had 7.5 units out. We got 5.92 back. little bit unlucky there with a couple of the photo finishes, but we'll take you guys through the races now. We're not doing every single race, so we can keep this video nice and short and easy to watch. So race 1, we didn't have a bet here, I don't believe. And I'll let you take us through it, Tom. Burnish Gold got the cashier, SP $4.90.
Yeah, we didn't have a bet early. I just didn't think there was a lot going on in this race, but we end up having 0.5 units in the yard on Burnish Gold, the winner, and 0.5 units on the horse that runs last, being Whistling Spirit. Your leaders here are the Les Ross colours, the light blue Spanish Angels, and Wicked Chance, who ends up sitting outside it. They don't go along very quickly here in front. Wicked Chance, not sure what to make of it. It's sat outside the leader in 2 of its runs this preparation, but it's really an 800, 900 metre horse in the yard. So if you see it go out to Gatton or something like that, you can probably follow it. Spanish Angels, who the market really came for. I didn't think there was a whole lot of substance behind that. I know it was a dominant win there at Ipswich last start or 2 starts ago, but I really didn't think there was a lot of chases in behind. And we had Burnish Gold long on our sheets in the morning, basically because it was coming out of some pretty pox. I think its debut with Ipswich, I think there was no real figures behind it, and the form subsequent was pretty lackluster. But once it stepped into the yard, it looked like a different horse. Definitely looked the best horse in the yard and had just grown up a lot. So had to chuck a half unit on it. I thought if Whistling Spirit got an easy lead in front, he could probably steal the race. But other than that, it was a pretty weak 2-year-old race to begin the card.
Yeah, I haven't got much more to say, but the winner was just lengths above them in the yard. So we just had to go that way.
All right, moving along to race 3 at the Sunny Coast. We didn't have a bet in the morning, but Turbo had a unit on Traduce from the yard, SP'd around $2.90 with the corpse. I think you got $3 plus on Betfair. It's in the white silks.
Yep, there was a bit of early support for this horse when the markets went up on a Wednesday, and kind of got a bit shorter than I'd like. But once it got out to a backable price in the yard, I was happy to have a unit on. Just how the race was going to pan out. Chocolatier's a bit suspect at 2,200 metres, and I always thought Painted Black and possibly Hacky with the blinkers going on were going to give it some company up in front, whereas at Doomben last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, it had a bit of a softer lead in front. It was kind of sitting around that $4 mark. Naminga, it had to make this jump from 1,800 to 2,200, and it was probably a run short, in my opinion, in the yard. Lady Salerno was bringing soft form from Doomben, going onto a hard, dry track here at Caloundra on a bigger track. Just didn't suit it. So Traduce was able to make the improvement. Last start, it had to go from 1,600 to 2,200. Its condition just gave out late. I think it just had a bit of quality on these as well, especially with Jade's Claim getting down on the weights definitely helped it.
Yeah, I think the distance changes with these 2 horses, Naminga and Traduce, was the key to this. Naminga on the inside had Traduce shot to bits, and his fitness caved in, and that's because he jumped up so far in distance. And even Traduce last start, he went from a mile up to 2,200, and he just didn't finish the race off a little bit all that well. But the improvement those sort of horses can make, staying at the distance is huge. And a 1,600 to 2,200 is a huge jump. That's bad. So if you go to 1,600 to 2,000, it's still a little bit of a question mark. But to go to 2,200, you just think Traduce is going to make really big improvement second time at it. Naminga will make big improvement out of this as well.
Yeah. Take to the Limit's actually not gone too bad either. Watching it box up on the inside there, he saved all the ground. It was a pretty good ride. But it's just gonna, I guess these horses just keep going round and round and round, and it either has to draw a gate or it needs to race with a bit more tempo up front.
Race 5 from Saturday. This is some pretty sick viewing for us. Our best lay from on Twitter with Tamerlade got the cash here. We had a unit on Deep Skivo in the morning at $4, and we had a half unit on both Slow Hands and Groupthink around the $5 to $6 mark in the morning. And I don't think we butted up from the yard, thankfully.
No. about 200 meters into this race, kind of knew our fate when Tamerlane was able to settle. I think it's eventually in that second pair, you just knew that we were in a world of hurt. Always kind of thought Deep Seaver and Groupthink were going to be your leaders out in front. They were going to lead at a soft tempo. It was just whether Tamerlane was going to be able to run the sectionals to get them down. Obviously, if you land in that second pair, you don't have to do a whole lot to get past these horses. They don't really have a turn of foot that he does. It was a good ride by those on the leaders, but as I said, Tamerlane was just in striking distance. You can see how slow they went. All those back markers, they were off the bit very early, having to chase. Slow hands, Star of Michelin with the big 60 kilos, and Jetty, who absolutely bombed the start, which is what he did at Ipswich. So I was surprised the market really did come for Jetty in the end. I think he started $6.40 on Betfair. I think he might have been about $14 in the morning. I do have queries over him at the mile. And given his barrier manners last start there at Ipswich, bombing the start, he's something you don't really want to tumble into. But he's gone okay here from the back of the field. There's small margins across the field, but you kind of expect that when they go that slow in front. I think on the sectionals, we've got it going about 9 slow in front to the 600 metre mark, and punting form have it going 11.2. I was very disappointed in how Deep Seaver went. I know he was second up to the mile here, so perhaps maybe a run short, but he made significant improvement in the yard, and he just hasn't been able to reach those peaks of what he did last preparation. Maybe that's because he's not suited in these sit and sprint affairs, but we'll have to wait and see. Third up, maybe I'll give him another chance if he can get control in front again.
And Tom, Groupthink played up a bit in the gates. When they're vetting them behind the barriers, what's your initial thoughts? Are you sweating, or do you want them to scratch it, or you want it to run?
Ideally, you never know. He lunged at the gate, so you never really know what that does to the horse. Maybe it takes a little bit out of him. You got to kind of trust the vet's judgment, but I don't think it would have made a difference how close Tamerlane was able to settle to them in the run. He's just got a superior turn of foot to these.
Okay. And John, the grey, what's the verdict on slow hands now? I really want to hear what your take is on this one.
Well, slow hands, Jetty and Star of Michelin have gone as good as the winner, Tamerlane.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be on those horses ever again, just because they're back markers, and you just keep on telling yourself, stop back and back markers, because they need too much luck to go their way.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to tip those type of horses again, including Tamerlane, just because Tamerlane, did come out a little bit slow, and they were lucky that nothing really wanted to be along the fence there. If the fence was good, they would have shut the gate on him, and he would have been back on the fence, second last, really slowly run race, and he wouldn't have won. So it was just lucky that this day, the fence, everyone didn't want to be on the fence, and when he missed the kick, he was able to rail up easy because no one really wanted to find him. So it was just one of those races. It was the best horse that could run the sectional on a slowish pace, and Tamerlane can run a sectional, and he got into a position that no one really thought he could. So they run this race 2, 4, how many runs? 2, 4, 6, 7 times, and you're probably going to get 5 different winners. So I don't want to play in these type of horses again.
Shifting along to race 7 from Saturday, we didn't bet early or late. Blackjack Boom got the money here. SP'd $7.50 in the black colours.
Yeah, I've chosen this race because, in my opinion, it was kind of the race of the day. They've gone out pretty even tempo here and come even home. The market really gravitated towards Zuma California, who I think's in your, is it the black colours? From the inside gate. He finds the lead with, I think Ubiquitous sits 3 wide with Princess Bojack. Oh, sorry, Zuma California's in the red colours. Kind of glad didn't play in this race in the end. We had our prices pretty close to the market. Zuma California, I'm not really sure what to make of this run. Has got an even kind of lead in front, and it's come home pretty ordinary. Perhaps you can put that down to being a first up run maybe lacking a bit of fitness. I'm not really sure. Did cop a really bad bump there in the straight, which has probably affected the margin from the winner. But this winner's just keeps improving again. As I said, first up, he made significant improvement. And I know Frad's given him the perfect ride here, midfield, in that running line position, being able to get to the best part of the track, close enough in striking distance, given the even tempo. But yeah, he's going good again. And I definitely on track to, I think, his target race, which is at the Gold Coast in 2 weeks' time, whenever that Saturday Metropolitan meeting is. I think it's Jewel Day or something like that. But whatever they put in front of him, he's able to do. And it's pretty scary to think what he might be able to do next. Buying time, the Raw O'Day horse probably pushed to the wrong part of the track there. From the inside gate, it's always tricky with all that traffic in front. He didn't really have any back to follow into the race. He's able to travel strongly on these slower tempos, so he's definitely one that can go up in grade, and he's got a turn of foot. He was in the wrong part of the track there. If you swap the runs with Blackjack Boom, you probably swap the finishing positions.
Yeah, buying time, just the run of the race. Just played up in the yard a little bit, beforehand. Got pushed into the wrong part of the track, sprinted pretty quickly, and just kept on fighting on. I think the horse goes good. He's just got to get his temperament right in the yard, and he'll just keep winning races. Blackjack, just don't know what to think about it. Like 3 starts ago, it beat a fair horse at Sunshine Coast. We backed the second horse, and I think it was about 3-horse field. And he showed a really good turn of foot, and that's what he seems to have. Just whether he can run out a distance that's further than this, that's the question mark. You do have a Shani Sniper chasing it and run it, making good ground on it. So that's the question mark I've got in my head.
What do you make of Zuma California's run, John?
Just thought it seemed to run about in Australia. It was a bit lost. When horses got around it, Blinker's first time, it was sort of like, was it waiting? Was it, just scared of horses around him? That's the question mark. The whole time, he pretty much had horses all over him. He should have sprinted here. That's where he should have sprinted, and he didn't. But he's a lovely type in the yard, looks good, and I'm not going to put the sword to him yet because, first time Blinkers, they can, lose their way sometimes too. So
yeah,
just question.
What about a horse like Mr. Larrabee?
Well, he's probably the run of the race, but he's a backmarker again. And I don't think he really gets a really strong 1400. So he's got to be put in a 1200 meter race with good speed on Eagle Farm probably, and he'll run on hard. But again, you're going to be back in a backmarker. So everyone's going to see it. They're going to come up with it. He's going to be shorter than what he should be. So he's not really a horse that will come up with that thing.
Race 8, Sunshine Coast, a little bit more sick viewing for the punters watching at home. We didn't bet anything from the yard, but we had a unit on Nikki Tricks in the morning at $6. Had a half unit on the 14 Air Spirit at $13 in the morning. Shamrock Lou got the money here from the Golem camp.
Yeah, Nikki Tricks was, when they said that they were going to take a sit on one of the speed horses, Frederick the Dane, just thought it would be able to lead a lot easier. And whether his fitness was up to scratch to run the 1,000 out, I thought it was pretty much spot on. He went to the front, dashed clear, probably rolled back into the worst part of the track the last little bit, and that's what's cost him the race. Shamrock Lou's coming to the better part of the track out wide, and that was the place to be, and that was the reason why he got beaten on Nikki Tricks. We're on Air Spirit, won last from the yellow cap on the fence there. It's been pushed back onto the inside part of the track. Somehow we've found the 2 horses in the worst part of the track. One's got beaten not far, and the other one has probably made up more ground than all of them. So it was just a little bit of a train wreck, really. What's the name? I don't really know what to think of Samu. He's held up. He possibly should have won, But I do think the horse has got a chink in his armour that he looks like he's travelling. They push the button, he goes for 100 metres, and then he switches off, or just he's got that short, sharp sprint. Now, he may have been able to sprint and go whack, but then again, would have Nicky Tricks fought back and beat it, and Shamrock Blue run over the top of the two of them because in the best part of the track. That's questionable.
Tom, what did Nicky Tricks touch in play? Did you look?
Yeah, look, I'm not really sure. I think I actually had a few clicks early when they've come out of the gates because I've seen it's ping the leads. It's going to find the lead pretty easily. So I was pretty happy with 200 metres to go. And then I've seen that it started to put in the short stride, then it's rolling back into the worst part of the track. And I'm just frantically trying to find the horse it's going to run on. Not sure what to make of this Shamrock Lou. I know it's in the best part of the track, but its last two runs, all you can do is win. I know it's in the best part of the track in both of those wins, both at 1,000 metres at Caloundra, but it's run the fastest size 6 and 4 of the meeting, I think, again. It's got a wicked turn of foot. I think John was saying on the way back that it might have had issues as an early horse. So perhaps they've got a sound horse now, and perhaps he can keep going through the grades. I think he'll be eligible, I suppose. He's won, 4 races now. So he's going to be stuck in this Saturday grade. It'll be interesting to see where he can get to. I kind of agree with Osama. I think it's definitely got a chink in its armour. It was kind of blocked for runs there, but I think there was a couple of times there he just didn't really want to take the gap with a lot of when Jaden kind of asked him to. Other than that, perhaps Frederick the Dane can knock off a race somewhere. He's still got a lot of improvement in him. I think we seen it Ipswich that day when I think we were on him that day, led up in front and just wandered about the track. I had no idea what he was doing, but kind of like has it been able to take a sit here and find the line.
Okay, moving along to race 9 here, we had a half unit on Panino and Rockamora in the morning at $4.20 and $9 respectively. And Tom had a half unit on Hilo from the yard around the $15 mark. Explosive Quality got the money here at speed $9.
Yep. So Racecourse Road is your winner in the black and the yellow cap. Explosive Quality in the black and pink Heinrich colours sits outside it. You'd think those two winning the race kind of been suited, but they actually haven't been. They've gone 4.5 lengths faster than the class average to the 600 metre mark. We've got it going very similar, so kind of got to trust those times there. Racecourse Road, I didn't think could make this improvement going up to 1,200 third up with a hot speed, and he's managed to do that. He's gone like an absolute bomb with the big weight. As I said earlier in the video, these horses, you got to make a decision whether they can make 2 good runs in a row. And Explosive Quality, I thought the run behind Mass Destruction last start was a little bit for gazy, I think the word is. But it's actually improved on that run again on the hot speed. Just got to take your hats off to these 2 runners. Pulled our pants down. They've gone hard in front and been able to keep kicking. I was really keen on Rockamore here. I thought it was just going to get the right run from the gate. It's probably settled back a touch further back than I thought, but I think it's gone okay here. It's kind of run as well as it can first up at 1,200 metres. I know it's in the best part of the track, and he was pretty forward in the yard, but I think going up to 1,400 metres next start can probably control the race. We'll settle on that second pair, and with this fitness run under the belt, he attacks the line, does everything possibly could. He's run the second fastest last 4 and 2 of the race. So can't wait to see him next start. I know it's a bunch finish, but I just think he's run good here, Rockamore.
I don't know what to think about this race. I think we looked at our section straight after the race and thought, wow, did they go that fast? And Punting Form's come through and had a similar time, and their actual overall time's faster than ours. But every horse in this race has broken par for the class. So that's big red light for me, whether this is right. I know it's 2 time sets of different times, but he's saying that it's right, but I just got real worries. a horse like Last Chance, giving them 6 or 7 length start, in the straight there and running, within a length. I think Punting Form's got them going 1 length fast to the last bit, and we've got them going 0.3 slow. But I just don't know about this race. I usually, the reason why we started to do times as well is because we wanted to see whether they're similar, and we can bet with confidence on it. This one is saying it's pretty similar, but I'm backpedaling. I'm just worried because, as I said, every horse in this race has broken class par, so worried.
All right, that concludes our post-operation analysis of the Sunshine Coast replays on Saturday. Not too bad of a meeting for us, just having the small loss overall. A few lessons learnt. Guys, what are your runners to follow out of the meeting? Tommy, I'll go with you first.
John's poured a bit of cold water over this race, but I think Rockamore, it's run up to a similar rating that it did last preparation. So I'm kind of happy to trust that it's come back okay. I think the trial prior to was good. It was pretty quiet. I think stepping up to 1,400 metres at Doomben or Eagle Farm next start, it can definitely be winning.
All right, and John?
I'm going with Buying Time. We've got a different sectional to what Punting Form's got, and I think it did a really good job on the inside part of the track the other day. Just want to see it in the yard, settle down a little bit and be a little bit more, just walking around, not flighty or nervous or, on the toe. So we'll just keep an eye on it.
All right, that's the two to follow out of the meeting. That's Buying Time for John, and Rockamore is Tom's one to follow. There's a decent week ahead of us. We've got a rare Wednesday Sunny Coast meeting, Ipswich Thursday. Boys get Friday off, nice and fresh to steam into Doomben and the Gold Coast on Saturday, and then we're back up the coast again on Sunday. So it should be a decent week, guys.
Beautiful. Friday's a good day to have off.
You can imagine, especially last Friday, Tom. I don't know how you do that long drive home after a strip out. It could be tough.
Oh, it's Sunny Coast.
Yeah.
Man, that was out of my head pretty quickly. But yeah, you're right.
That's
After
good.
a loss, it does make it. There's not happy tunes.
What's
playing in the car on the way home.
What's the go-to playlist or radio station when you're coming home after a strip out? And also, what's the go-to dinner?
Oh, dinner. No appetite after a strip out, so
That's
don't
good.
usually.
No,
I think I had leftover roast chicken rolls or something after the strip out that night. And the music choice, geez, I think I chuck on a podcast when I'm after a loss. I don't really want to listen to music. Yeah, after a win, it's definitely music.
I've got a new saying for everyone. I know everyone sort of says that don't look back, always look forward. But in racing, always look back and then look forward.
The way John's been sitting this entire video is just so disturbing.
I know.
I can't get over it.
I'm trying to wrap it up so he can get up and stretch his legs. He's, my bum's sore looking at you. Yeah, and there's a good chance of kiwi fruit popping out there as well. So we might leave.
It's like there's no carpet here too. There's only carpet over in the corner, so it's sort of playing on tiles. It's no good at all.
Yeah, it looks rock hard. Yeah, and the floor looks tough as well. Guys, make sure you head to macbet.com.au this week. Get yourself a weekly or a monthly subscription. Get all the boys' information in the yard. The service is going really well, and last year was massive. But thanks for your time this morning, guys, and we'll see you from you soon.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.